So I mean, if you can just talk about more about the mental health, because we were discussing on that day about the mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So for me, like talking about mental health has been very important. I became a mental health advocate like for like about 3-4 years nationally in Canada. So in Canada, we have this foundation called Bell Let's Talk. Bell is like Vodafone. वो Let's Talk का sponsor है. So what happens is for 12 years it's been there. So they only had celebrities who were endorsing Bell Let's Talk, and it's been a very big thing every January because it's the most depressing month of the year here because it's cold, nothing happens, I'm boring it. So that's why it's like the most depressing time. So that's when the Bell Let's Talk campaign starts. There's hoardings, there's like advertisements, everywhere you go, you cannot miss Bell Let's Talk. And every year at the end of the month of January, they have a Let's Talk Day. So Let's Talk Day, if anyone tweets hashtag Bell Let's Talk, watches their official video, puts up like a Facebook or Snapchat filter, any of those things, Bell gives 5 cents, like 5 paise basically, towards the mental health initiative for Let's Talk. Let's Talk is the organization.
Awesome.
The whole nation is so involved. It's the biggest mental health conversation in the world. So the whole nation is so involved. We raised over like $7 million this year towards mental health initiatives. And this is every year. Every year we keep beating the price. We're all collectively on all 12 years, we want to get to 155 million. Eventually we'll get there. But so far this year we've raised over $7 million. And all of that is going to go to mental health initiatives. Coming back to mental health, for me, it's been important to share that is because in India, and just me being Indian, right? We don't talk about mental health. We think that it's like, ये पागल है, like दिमाग में, like इसको निकालो, ये क्या है, ऐसे मत करो, ये सब वो सब. It's really terrible that people think that way, but it's true. How many times in India like I've been like, अरे नीचे ऐसे मत, why are you like this? Come out of the house and all these things. This is not how you treat people. If you get hurt, when you fall down and your leg is bleeding, you go to the hospital. If your brain and if you're not feeling well, it is important that you seek out for help. It is important that you speak out for it because kya hota hai that I've noticed is like you start feeling like anxious. Anxious se sab chalu hota hai. You're feeling anxious about something. You cannot share it because people think you're crazy. So you don't share it. So now your anxiety hota hai. Uske baad depression mein jaate ho. Uske baad you start feeling lost because you're the only one. You feel like you are the only one who's feeling this way. Then you lock yourself in a room. Your parents are like getting mad at you. Why are you locking yourself in a room? Then you're getting pissed off at them. They're getting pissed off at you. It spirals down and it could lead to suicide. Why do people suicide? A lot of people don't talk about this, but people need to talk about this. Why do people lead to suicide? Because they felt lost, because no one was hearing them. They are trying to tell you something, but you're a deaf ear to them. So it's important that we speak out about it in early times. And for me, luckily, I've never gone into that much of like, in mental space because I have a really good family, really good support system. But it was important for me to speak up because as a South Asian woman, we need to inspire other South Asian people to speak out about it, that you're not alone in this. We all go through mental health issues. Do not tell me you did not go through it. There is no way. Mental health, ये नहीं होता कि disorder होता है. Mental health ये भी होता है कि आज मेरी mental health ठीक नहीं है यार. I'm sad today because like this didn't go through. That's also mental health. So right. It's not a bad thing to talk about it. Actually, if you talk about it, you will heal faster because there's so many times when you will be like, हाँ मेरे साथ भी ये हुआ है. Suddenly you feel like, oh, there's someone else that feels like you. So then you feel like you're not alone, and that can save lives. You have no idea. Since I've been part of this, so many people have messaged me like, thank you for sharing your story. Like I'm inspired to speak more about it. It's amazing the ripple effect that I've noticed since I became like the face of the company.
Yeah, I think it might be a bit normal in Canada or US, but if I may talk only about India, it's still like it's a very, very big issue.
Yeah.
Like as a mental health. Yeah. And even I also want to ask you, like, as a layman, when he or she shall realize कि यार मुझे अब डॉक्टर के पास जाना चाहिए, because sometimes like इतनी fast ये सब चीजें होती हैं back of the mind and we are not able to realize कि यार ये वाक्य में anxiety हो रही है, क्या exactly हो क्या रहा है, और क्या symptoms हैं इसके, if you can just touch about that stuff. क्योंकि जब mental health होगी सिर्फ anxiety ही एक issue रहेगा या कुछ और भी आपको normally जो कोई काम कर रहे हो उस काम को हो सकता है कि आप ठीक तरह से नहीं कर रहे हो, और मे बी अ पर्सन हाउ दे एग्जैक्टली कैन रियलाइज कि आज मेरी मेंटल हेल्थ सही नहीं है। बिकॉज लाइक अगर मैं आपको एग्जांपल दूं छोटा सा, कि फीवर होता है इंसान को, वो थर्मामीटर लगाता है, हाँ यार मेरा फीवर चेक किया, सो या टुडे आई एम नॉट वेल, टुडे आई शुड गो टू द डॉक्टर एंड ही मे प्रिस्क्राइब मी अ मेडिसिन। बट फॉर मेंटल हेल्थ इशू ये टेंजिबल चीज नहीं है, यू हैव टू रियलाइज बाय योर ओन। और हम यूजुअली क्या करते हैं, नहीं मैं तो बिल्कुल सही हूँ, मुझे कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता, दिस इज आवर नेचर। सो उससे उस चीज को आप कैसे देखते हो, कैसे एक एज अ लेमैन फिगर आउट कर सकता है इस चीज को?
See, that's the thing. That's an interesting conversation about India, because like, it's funny. When I was in India, because I was in India just last year for like good 5-6 months, because I keep going back and forth, and my friends actually are open about it. Bombay में ऐसे बड़े शहरों में people are more open about these things than छोटे शहरों में, because it's a normal conversation कि अरे यार नहीं आज नहीं, I'm feeling not that great. And just talking about I'm feeling not that great is also talking about mental health, you know. But I don't think there's symptoms so far, because there's different types of, we're talking about mental health versus disorders. So there's mental health, which is very generic. Mental health, you have mental health right now also. What are you feeling? Like if you're feeling happy, that is also mental health. My mental health today is very good because I'm feeling good today. Tomorrow, if you lose a job or something, you're not feeling great. Like my mental health today is not that great. So that there's mental health is a very generic thing. Physical health is this, physical health is that, just like that. Mental health is this, mental health is that. However, to diagnose something, that's a disorder. So if you go to a therapist or something, and if it's just a regular thing, a therapist can tell you that you are suffering from a certain type of a disorder. So there is clinical depression, which is very different than having a normal depression. Like we all go through the times when we're really low, if you lose someone or something like that. That's also depression, but you can come out of it yourself or with your family's help and environment change and all these things. But then there's clinical depression that needs help, that needs like antidepressants.
Sorry to interrupt you, Shreya, but if someone loses a job, or someone loses a business, or if someone loses a person, ये obviously है कि वो बंदा उदासी होगा, sadness आएगी, ये बिल्कुल obvious ही है, और बिल्कुल मन नहीं करेगा यार, मूड तो खराब हो गई। तो क्या उसको, और वो it can go up to maybe a week, 2 weeks or 3 months, right? अगर ये ऐसा होता है तो मे बी कुछ बंदे ऐसे होते हैं जो अपने आप ही रिवाइव कर जाते हैं, बाउंस बैक करते हैं, कुछ होते हैं नहीं करते। तो आई मीन जस्ट वांटेड टू से कि अगर हफ्ता 2 हफ्ता हो रहा है तो ये तो इट्स अ नॉर्मल थिंग। उस नॉर्मल थिंग में तो आप क्या इससे कहोगे कि मेंटल हेल्थ खराबी हो गई है उसकी, या नॉर्मली ही इज जस्ट फीलिंग सैड राइट नाउ, ऑब्वियसली जो भी उसके आसपास का माहौल है उसकी वजह से। आई मीन इसमें कोई टाइम पीरियड कुछ करना चाहोगे आप इसको कुछ, क्योंकि हो सकता है जो देख रहे हैं ये इशू हो सकता है कि दैट कुड बी अ क्वेश्चन।
Yeah, so mental health खराब ऐसे नहीं होती, right? Again, it's health. Health is wealth. If your health, physical health is good, it's going to be good. If your mental health is good, it's going to be good. इसमें time frame ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता. When you lose someone, lose a job, talking to a therapist will clear out कि क्यों ऐसा हो रहा है, right? It's not a bad thing to go to a therapist. There's no time limit कि मुझे इस time पे जाना चाहिए, इस time पे नहीं. Talking, you know what? Actually, a lot of entrepreneurs have a therapist. कुछ sad wad कुछ नहीं है वो लोग. Just to talk about things, because they are trained to ask you questions that you don't know, which will get you answers that it's already in your head. Like they're trained to like make you feel better by answering your own questions. That's what therapy is. Therapy will never give you answers. They're not legally advised to give you answers because of their conditioning, their environment, and all these things is very different than yours, but they will guide you through it. So if you go for mental health therapy, it's just telling you how to come out of it. They'll figure out what you like to do better. They'll just make you more stronger. It's just knowledge. But खराब नहीं होती. Mental health, it's not like खराब हो गया कि आप जाओ. It's not a bad thing. Mental health today is just sad. Mental health today is just happy. It's just you define what your mental health is. ऐसे नहीं कि like, अभी 2 week हो गए, I'm sad, I have to go to therapy. You can only decide that for yourself. People are in it for months or years before they realize कि अरे यार, I can be happy too. Maybe I should go and seek help. Maybe seek help. They will give you answers again. They will just guide you to find your own answers, right? So like this is just a way of guiding, because people in India are very scared of therapy. I don't know why. Not in Bombay, but small towns and stuff. Like, nahi, nahi, mere dimag, I'm fine. I'm like, it's not that. Try it.
What I'm understanding from your conversation is like जब आपने अभी ये चीज डिस्कस करी कि maybe it's a questioning can help you when you, or maybe when you reach out to any therapist, they start
Yeah.
questioning you, so they help you out to to reach out to the right questions. So maybe somehow mental health खराब तब होती है, maybe I'm wrong, just correct me if I'm mistaken, but it helps अगर आप define कर लेते हो अपने लिए कि sole purpose क्या है आपका, what exactly you want to achieve, whatever the work you are doing right now. So I think it can increase, I mean, it can improve your mental health. It can help you out in that sort of way.
Yeah, of course it can help you out. So if, for instance, if you had going through a breakup and you need to talk to someone, why are you burdening your friends through the emotional baggage first and foremost? Like, kitna sunenge, friends kitna sunenge, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, it's not good to mentally burden your friends with your baggage. So you go to therapy. The therapist will be like, okay, you're feeling this, and I'm not a therapist, so I can't tell you what. I'm trained a little bit to understand how it works, but I'm not a therapist. So, but they'll ask you questions that will lead to the answers of why you broke up, or what you should be doing next, that you answer yourself, but they will guide you through those questions. And jab koi breakup hota hai, something bad happens, you're kind of clouded. You don't know like कि क्या करना आगे चाहिए, and you're only thinking of the good times and stuff. There's a reason why you broke up. But this therapist who can guide you will make you realize
It helps you in
actual,
clarifying your thoughts actually.
yeah, clarify your thoughts. There you go. Yeah, and that's an amazing thing. A lot of entrepreneurs are not even upset, go to therapy. So many entrepreneurs, they actually, everyone should go to therapy every week if you can. It's expensive, don't do that. But people who can afford it, they do it because they clean out their head, and they figure out like answers to, like, CEOs figure out answers to like difficult questions because of the person who's guiding them. So this therapy is not just for mental health that is bad. Therapy is for just generally everything that is bothering you in your life, or it's something that you need answers for. It's healthy.
Yeah, really it is. So thanks a lot, Shreya, for sharing so much insights, and I mean, अपना time निकाला हमारे साथ and shared a lot of stuff with us. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, of course. Lovely to be here.